we had sheep out here clearing brush, and the first time the coyotes were out in the cul-de-sac was about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and they did what coyotes usually do when you come out. They ran away, and that's good. You know, we threw some things at them and yelled at them, and they were just typical coyotes running away, looking over their shoulder and kind of taunting you, but still running away, right? And then about 2:30, 3 o'clock, somewhere in there, I was woken up by the dogs barking, and came out here, and Casper and Daisy had the sheep backed up in that corner over there, and there's just 5 or 6 of them there at the time, and Daisy was staying close to the sheep, and Casper was out a little further out front this way. And when I got about somewhere around here, there were coyotes inside the pen and coyotes outside. I wasn't, like I said, wasn't really afraid that they were going to attack me or anything, but they weren't responding. They were focused on Casper, I think, as much as anything. And he charged into the middle of them and killed some right in here, and then came out. They jumped out of the fence. Some ran that way, and some ran this way over the fence, and he just came out the fence here and killed more. And then they had a fight all up and down this creek, and it wasn't a short thing. It was half hour. You know, it was a while that this was going on, and he just, I mean, I went out to try to get him back and try to make sure he was okay, and just eventually couldn't find him. So the next day, we thought we could find him. We thought he must have been killed, and so we were looking for him. And if he wasn't killed, we figured he was hurt, and we needed to. We knew he was hurt because we found parts of his tail and blood and other things, and so we were worried about him, and we put out a post on Facebook and let neighbors know, because we didn't want anybody to run into an injured dog, and the neighbors came out and helped us look, and we found more coyotes dead, and still didn't find him. And 2 days later, he showed up back here in the pen, in the little chicken hutch, and popped his head out, and he looked like death. I mean, he looked terrible.
Came back home again.
He came back home, and he just kind of looked at me like, "Boss, just stop looking at how bad I look. Just take care of me." And so my daughter and I cleaned him up and didn't go to church, and cleaned him up and went looking for veterinarians. And ultimately, it took a day before we got Lifeline. Once we called Lifeline called up to the vets. It's the emergency vet that they work with, and said, "This is a Lifeline case." And from that point on, everything was taken care of. They were great. So, you know, he's had a few surgeries, I guess, wound care surgery kind of thing. And I think one of them, they've closed up one of his wounds now, and he had to have his tail amputated. And at the same time, it's been about a month, and he's looking great compared to where he was. And there's not much question about him surviving now. It's a question of what his quality of life will be. And so he'll be able to move around. He's big and strong and healthy. We don't know if he'll ever be out with his sheep again.